Welcome to Stay at Home Dads, a podcast.
With your hosts, Drew and Justin, a place where we talk about a lot of guy stuff.
And a little bit of dad stuff too. So kick back, relax, and let's talk. Welcome to Stay at Home Dads podcast with Drew and myself, Justin. And today we're going to talk about a topic that we have been kind of talking about before. A lot of people talked about it. It's what I wish I knew then that I know now. So what have you learned today in your adult life that you really wish you would have known when you were 20, when you were 17, when you were 25, whenever? So
Yeah.
What do you think, Drew? What do you got?
All right. So I gave this a little thought. And the first major thing that came to my mind was basically to do with like working out. So in my 20s, I was very skinny. I had a very high metabolism, and I always wanted to put on like mass and like muscle.
Right.
But the problem was
He-Man, right?
I wanted to be like,
yeah.
I wanted to be like He-Man. Like that was like that was the epitome of like, I wanted to be like Arnold. And I just wasn't putting on the mass. And now that I'm 40, I understand why. And it's because I would go to the gym and I'd do like my hour and a half of like lifting. And then I'd freaking get on the treadmill and I'd freaking like run at a fast pace for 45 minutes. And then I
burn. Yeah.
Burn. And then I wouldn't eat food. I wasn't like fueling myself. So now that I am older and I understand kind of like the science of like how to build mass, what I should have done at 20 was I should have lifted really heavy. I shouldn't have done any cardio. I should have ate a crap ton. I should have ate like a ton of carbs, a ton of protein, much more than just like the 3 meals a day. Cause like I was still like on the, you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No, I should have ate like 5 to 6 meals at that point if I was trying to like build mass. And so no wonder I was
just eat when you, it's just like eat. You're not eating for like your meals anymore. It's
you're eating
like you're eating to eat like that you need to eat. Like,
so like every 3 hours, every 3 hours, I should have been eating like a meal with like protein and like carbs and like
huge amount of carbs, some fat,
And back then I'm 20. What was I eating? McDonald's, like freaking.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not counting calories. You're not checking macros. You're not,
No, I was going like
doing
Pizza
any
Hut.
of that stuff. Yeah.
No, it was awful. I had horrible eating habits, So I wish that I could go back and like literally personal train myself. Like 40-year-old Drew goes back and teaches 20-year-old Drew. Oh my God, I would be massive right now.
Like do this and do this and then do that.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that this is like your topic, because I kind of feel the same way. Like I think back at like how many months to years I like wasted like in a gym, like, and not following like even like a lifting program, like educating myself on like what to do, what not to do. Like I did the same thing. I would like do the Stairmaster for a half hour and then I would go lift weights or vice versa.
Yeah.
And I would do it every day. I would do it 6 days a week.
And you're like a skinny 20-year-old, get off the cardio. You don't need it. You don't need the cardio if you're a skinny 20-year-old. If you're a overweight 20-year-old, yeah, maybe like get on the treadmill.
And it's even kind of funny, like, I mean, this is you going back to like when we were younger, but I was even still making these mistakes up until like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before you talked me into doing like that Beachbody program with you, because before that I didn't have that program. I would just go and just randomly work out and randomly do some exercises. I wasn't like counting calories and getting out the scale and stuff like that. And this was just 2 years ago. I'm 38.
Yeah.
That was when I was, 36.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known what I know today 3 years ago. And I feel like I would be leaps and bounds over where I'm at now,
Well, I didn't understand the concept of meal prepping until my wife. So my wife, for those of you listening, she actually has been like a competitor she does like
fitness stuff, right?
Yeah, fitness competitions, like physique fitness competitions, where she literally has like a coach, she has like a trainer, like a nutritionist. And I watched like what she was doing, and I realized like if you're gonna build muscle, like this is how you have to eat. You know what I'm saying? And because of her, like I was actually inspired at one point, for a very short period of time. I did hire a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and it's amazing like how much I recommend like anybody out there who's trying to like progress, like whether it's like bodybuilding or whatever you're trying to do,
Right.
just at one point, even if it's just like a short period, get a nutritionist, get a personal trainer. Like I only had maybe both of those for like a 3 month period, but like the stuff I learned in those 3 months, like it's invaluable. Like
It really opens your eyes. Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, to
And
like the unhealthy, like the unhealthy eating habits. I mean, you can even read comments on Instagram about like, if you follow any fitness page and these people are like, well, I've been doing A, B, and C. And then you're just like, now that we know what we know, we're like, oh my God. Like, and that's a majority of people that are
yeah,
doing like
they don't get it.
stupid and
They just don't
they
get
have
it.
no idea. They don't
Nope.
understand.
No. And
And
there's
then
so
if you count, do you weigh all your food?
I don't count calories because I've never liked that, but I do. At first, it was difficult to get into doing, but I weigh everything. I am
Yeah,
talking
so do I. Hmm.
almost everything that I put into my body goes on a scale, and I keep like this kind of like loose, like track of basically like, okay, what am I eating for my protein, my carbs, like I don't care about the vegetables. Like vegetables, I never measure, but
Right.
like carbs and the meat, I measure everything. So
Yeah.
you count calories, don't you?
Yeah, I have like the app on my phone, the Fitness Pal app, and I just
Yeah.
like and I've just gotten into the habit and people are like, "Why do you still use that?" And it just helps me like be honest with myself and it helps me stay on track. So like I do the same thing, I'll weigh it and then I'll put it in my phone and then it tells me the makeup of it for like the how much protein's in this piece of chicken and how much fat's in this piece of sausage
Yeah.
and I do all that, but
I might need
it's
to talk
just
to you at some point after the show, like just
mhm.
about how to do like the calorie tracking because I've never taken it to that level, but I do very consistently measure, like I said, all the weights of my food. So like I'm able I think like as long as you're doing one or the other, it's probably good. If you can learn how to do both, it's probably better,
Mhm.
as
It's
far
easy to like it's opened my eyes too about like how what little amount it takes to like totally derail like oh you had a handful of chips. Well, you just had 30 grams of chips, you
oh
had
my God.
200 calories of chips or
Dude.
whatever, and it's a handful. Or
Yeah.
go have a handful. Like 1 ounce of peanuts
Hmm.
has like 11 grams fat in it. Like stuff
Dude.
like that. Like, and it's just
Yeah.
like three little trips to your pantry to snack on
Hmm.
like a few things will derail your carbs and fat count. Like if you're trying to keep those in check, it'll derail it like immediately because usually protein is usually the hardest thing to get because everything processed in your pantry, bread, everything else is all it's like carbs and fats are just the easiest thing to eat. And
Yeah.
it's amazing like how easily like just having a random snack or going out for a meal somewhere will just totally screw that all up. So
Dude, so when I hired my nutritionist, I didn't realize like how much I was like screwing up because I kept a container of like Planters mixed nuts next to my bed. And in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and I'd have to like go to the bathroom and I'd grab a freaking
like
handful of
ooh,
those. I'd literally like, cause dude, I used to live so hard and work out so hard that I'd be hungry in the middle of the night and I'd grab a handful of nuts and I'd freaking munch nuts like throughout the night, like almost like half asleep, but not even like comprehending what I'm doing. And
yeah.
I told my trainer this. He's like, dude, he's like, put the nuts down. He's like, you don't need that many nuts. He's like, that's after I couldn't get ab definition. He's like, yeah, that's your first thing is like quit eating nuts all night like a crazy guy, you know?
Right. And I think that's a thing that's been ingrained in like in modern humans is
Mhm.
they don't want to be uncomfortable. So people don't want to have they don't want to be hungry. They haven't
Mhm.
gotten the you I think there's a real meaning behind get used to feeling a little hungry. Get used
Yeah,
to feel like you don't need to be 100% like satisfied
all
all
the
the time.
time.
You don't
Nope.
need to feel full all the time.
No.
Like, oh, I feel hungry.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean you need to go eat. That just
No.
means just kind of deal with
Just
it.
deal
You know
with
what I
it.
mean? Like
Yeah.
and that's like it's very mental. Like you need to
Mhm.
like overcome that for sure. But I think that's a big part is in modern people that
Oh
they
yeah.
don't want to feel an ounce of discomfort, whether it's, feeling hungry or feeling tired or feeling warm or feeling cold. Like they want to have this perfect bubble
Yeah.
of living,
And I think another point too is a lot of people don't realize like how many calories they're getting through like really small snacks that are like really unhealthy. So
Mhm.
when my wife was pregnant, she really loved I think it was Tostitos, like the lime flavored, the lime, you know what I'm talking about, like the lime flavored
Well, they
Tostitos.
sound delicious. Yes.
Dude, they're freaking like crack. I can't explain to you how delicious these chips are. Like, so I'm not getting paid right now like they're not sponsoring this show,
Right.
but they're like delicious. But their freaking calorie content is like freaking insane. Like I told her to look at like how much, like I can't remember what the serving was, but like 5, 6 chips was like, I'm not even gonna guess, but it was like outrageously high. I was like, you might as well
It's
eat a Snickers bar. Like if you're
right.
gonna
It's
eat,
crazy.
and she was
It's
doing
just
like, yeah.
all the time. She's just
Oh,
doing it
dude,
all the time.
while she was pregnant, her favorite snack was she'd take a bowl and she'd pour chips in there and make like nachos. She'd put like shredded taco cheese on there and put it in the microwave. And she just ate the shit out of these. Like it was like her favorite. And then I showed her like what they were like worth, and she's like, "Oh my god, okay, we're gonna stop buying
Throw
Tostitos."
those away.
We quit buying them like instantly. But yeah, so,
Oh my God.
but yeah, you just have to be aware. I mean, um, it's amazing sometimes like how these little snacks just really bite you if you're not careful.
They'll catch up on you like
Oh yeah.
quick. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
So what else do you have for your knowledge of, was that?
What I know now, what I wish I knew then was like honestly, like it sounds stupid, but like I wish when I was younger that I would have like taken more risk, that I would have been a little more cavalier with, I don't know, I would have been more outgoing to like, have fun, not just like physically take a risk, like jump off a bridge or something, but just like with your life and with your job and with traveling and with seeing things and with experiencing things. And, I feel like parents a lot of times, at least our parents, your parents possibly the same, but they always instill like go to college, get a
Mhm.
job, find a lady, get
To set
married, have a
to
kid,
set
and then just
Mhm.
like plod along on this path, which is a good path. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, having that trajectory, but it it makes you doubt like, oh, maybe I should quit my menial job and go move to San Francisco for a summer, or maybe I
Yeah.
should go visit Hawaii and just find a job and just, do that or do this, or, and these sound
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous, like, because
No, I get it.
are they doable? Like, I don't know. For example, like me and my wife went to Whistler for vacation,
Okay.
and in Canada seems a little bit different than the States with kind of how people live and retirement and all that, because we met these two girls, and they were in their young 20s, and they were working at this ski resort in Whistler, and they went for like this hike out in the woods, and we are like, what do you guys like do, like
Yeah.
how do you, both me and my wife were talking, they're like, how did you guys come here? And the girl was like, well, when I was like 19, I was like, had like a summertime job. I was going to get ready to go to college. She wanted to be a police officer or something.
Crazy.
And then she just like decided to like get in this van and just like drive across Canada. And she ended up in like Whistler,
Hmm.
and they went there to just like visit for like a weekend. And
And
then
they,
she walked down and she found a job, and she like
yeah.
called her mom, and she's like, hey, I found a job here. I'm staying here. And they're just like,
Cool.
they're just like super like, oh, whatever, like they're
Yeah.
like, I'll do this. She's like, I'll have time to find like a professional career and
Hmm.
work and then retire. She's like, I'm not worried about it. And it just seemed
How old do you
like
think she
a
was?
much different like outlook than what people typically do in the
Hmm.
States,
I
so
I know exactly what you mean. Like I was married back in my early 20s, and that's actually when I first met you, as you know. I'm just telling
mhm,
our viewers. Um, and after my divorce, I went through the divorce. I went back to my hometown in Iowa. I moved back with my dad. I went to college. I mean, I did all the things that you're supposed to do. Like I felt like
right,
that was like, okay, that's what I have to do now. You
right,
know, but looking back, there's always this part of me that kind of regrets that and wishes that why didn't I just move to Colorado and become a snow bum and like literally like get a crap job like at a sporting goods shop, or like become like a snowboard instructor
Mhm.
and like just scrape by, but snowboard every day for like
Yeah, and
5
you
years.
still go to school. You could still take some part-time
Mm-hmm.
college classes or whatever. So it's like,
Yeah.
like that's what was always in my mind too. It's like, you could, okay, so maybe I could do both and not like necessarily live in my mom's house. And,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah. It just makes you wonder, like, why did I make certain choices? Which our choices then did get us to where we are today. Like,
Yeah.
you're married and have a baby, and I'm married and have 2 kids. And
And we
like,
wouldn't trade that
so
for the world. Like we're happy with our marriages, we're happy with
yeah.
our kids, we love our lives. But there's always
Hmm.
that what if? Like, what if I would have moved with Justin from
Right.
Vegas? What if we would have moved out to like Breckenridge and just been like snowboard
And just
bums and
had
like
fun and just,
had
and,
fun?
and like, yeah, would our path, would our
Hmm.
projection still have led us to where we are today, or would it be totally
Yeah.
different? I mean, you never know. So it's, I always kind of think about like take risks like in that manner, and do things like that. I kind of wish I would have, but then
Hmm.
hindsight, like, well, I mean, my life's turned out pretty good now so far. So
Yeah.
it's tough.
So I think from what we can take away from this show is when you're young and you've got fitness goals, do some research and talk to some professionals. Like literally, if you're trying to get from point A to point B, like talk to somebody that's been there and knows what to do, because I was an idiot and I had no idea what I was doing and I just was not achieving my goals. And then as far as Justin's advice, maybe take some risks, maybe try that scary thing that might seem a little
Yeah.
risky but might be like worth the adventure in the long run.
Yeah. If you've got that thought in your head that, hey, maybe I want to do this, you know what, maybe buy a plane ticket and go check it out. And if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good, but at least try to, put yourself out there a little bit, meet new people, check out new places. I'm not saying go run off to Thailand or something, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just put yourself out there. And if you feel like you have something, do it when you're young. Like,
Hmm.
do it when you're young, do it before you have kids.
Yeah.
You can always come back and go to college
Hmm.
and get a job at Enterprise and rent cars or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so that part of life, I think, will always be there.
for sure.
So do that.
All right, guys. I hope you liked our show today. We're gonna make this a reoccurring theme where we're gonna talk about things that we wish we knew, that we know now that we wish we knew when we were younger. So that's gonna be
Right.
like a reoccurring thing. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching Stay at Home Dads.
You know the drill, guys. Blah blah blah. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
We'll catch you on the flip side.